We're still trying to figure out what the revenues look like. Not as good as last year.
This year maybe they'll be a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think. Well, our hangup last year was so far apart.
So you said we really don't have to sign these?
We were looking at.
I mean, if you want to, you can, but.
I didn't know.
Yeah, you want to talk about?
No, I'm good. I have a piece of gum and I have some Altoids in my pocket just in case
We did because.
Yes, I've had the cold for months now.
I know, it doesn't go away.
We're not confident that's gonna go on for.
Thank you. Yeah.
We think we'll probably have a good year this year.
Just
beyond
there's
this.
somebody from the press.
I think it's mine. Yeah,
I don't
I think so.
Beginning there, that's all.
Yeah, there's only
Usually come to these, just deal with selected.
Okay.
We get to know what's going on. Keep up to date.
the one for the ambulance. They should have those.
Greenland just has one.
There's a full timer. Yeah. I'm Greenland now. Material is Greenland. Northampton and Worth. Camera
I'm
lady.
the only one in
She
the
was in
office
there
that
last
doesn't
year.
bother.
My recording's online.
So
Okay.
that's the two of us.
I already
Next
know.
shot.
That's,
Charlie, what's
and
this?
then Tom.
Okay.
Sure.
Separate my computer.
Let's just sit down and knit and be quiet. Crochet everyone.
So,
Oh, you're crocheting.
he's come to do these two. We've been working together, we got them.
Yeah. I didn't move yours, I moved yours. But then I put it back.
That was an effort on Tom, Cam.
Yeah, I never thought about that until my.
We recording?
Yes.
Are we on, Charlotte?
We are.
All right, it's 7 o'clock. Called to order this meeting of the selectmen. We'll start with a roll call, starting on my right. State your name.
Steve Smith.
Justin Duraki.
Richard Huzzy.
Jim Ralston.
Chip Hussey.
Okay, we have a quorum, and this is being recorded. The first item on the agenda is the reorganization of the board. As we all know, we have two brand new members who haven't been on the board before. This is their first meeting, Steve Smith and Rick Hussey. We thank them for running and wish them the best in their reign of terror here as we go forward. We're also going to be having a new town administrator. So basically, I guess what I'm trying to say is that we need to have a little bit of patience in the next few weeks as people learn things, and hopefully everything will work out well. With that in mind, I would like to nominate a person who has the most experience working on different boards in the town to be chairperson, and that would be Chip Hussey. Looking for a second.
I'll second
All in favor?
it. Aye.
All right, I guess it's unanimous, except for you.
I have to abstain.
So, you're the man.
And I like it. Okay, the next thing we need to nominate is a vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Chester. Right. I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And Chester's abstaining.
Thank you.
We have two appointments. The first one is the Budget Committee. And I'm going to nominate Rick Hussey because I think he wanted to do that anyway, even though he didn't.
This is for a liaison or for?
No, this is the seat on the budget. These are the seats.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So goes it. The next thing we need to appoint is a selectman's representative to the planning board.
I nominate Steve Smith.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
She'll
Now.
abstain.
Before you go any further, we're into the liaisons. And as I mentioned, each one of the board members, I have a problem with using liaisons because there's always been a communication problem. It didn't seem to solve anything, at least the way we were doing it. And what I'd like to do is basically to improve the communication between the selectmen, town employees, boards, departments, trustees, committees, commissions, and even the school, if we can talk them into it. I am proposing eliminating the selectmen as liaisons and using the town administrator to be that person that they will go to. The town administrator would be able to communicate with the whole board when somebody wanted some questions asked. They could send the same email out to the whole board so the whole board was aware, first of all, what the questions were and what was coming back from the individuals. It's my hope that unlike in the past, it isn't just one or two people get the information that the whole board would and they'd be aware of it so they don't get caught off guard with an individual, a resident coming up and asking them a question, they have no clue what that resident was talking about. And as I mentioned before, it'd be kind of nice to get the school on board because I think they had a little problems getting the bond this time, right? It cost us about $50,000. It cost the taxpayers about $50,000, and it should more than it should have. Stuff like that. I think we got to start communicating more, planning more. So I throw that out there for discussion.
I think it's worth a try. And so I would make a motion that we adopt it.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. The only question I have is it might not work as well with the board, so we can revisit this at any time.
Right.
If it falls apart, then we're gonna have to revisit it.
I think emergency services needs a go-to person on the board. In case of emergency.
Well, that was actually my biggest
Tragedy.
problem I had with the whole thing, because one person just,
I've talked to a lot of the department heads, and most people said that they wanted it. I can say that. Police and fire both made a good story for it.
as I said,
Confidentiality and just a go-to person. And I kind of think department head should have a go-to person on the board, not necessarily a liaison or some kind of representative. I think a selectman should be at every meeting, so there should be a selectman at a rec meeting, a budget meeting, et cetera, conservation meeting. So does that go away if the liaisons go away?
no,
So who decides who goes where?
we do.
I think we need to tweak it. I don't think we should get rid of it. I think we just need to tweak it a little bit.
I basically want a liaison for the communication to the whole board. I just don't want,
No, I understand. I'm not,
I've
I'm not
actually-
saying
I've actually-
about communication at all. We definitely need more communication across the way. The liaisonship did not work before. It didn't go both ways.
no, it
It
didn't.
went the way it wanted to go, and that was it. And that's the way it was, and now it's a different day. So, moving forward, I would,
You want to come back next meeting with a tweak?
I'm all right with that.
I have no problem. As I said, nothing's perfect.
I think if we sit down and look at
What
boards are doing what, or what commissions are doing what, and like Chester said, I mean, public safety and da-da-da, I mean, maybe we reorganize the liaisons to, look closer at certain points of,
Public safety, I thought would be easier because they're basically daytime and so is the town administrator, we're basically
right.
evening.
Right, but
But they might,
in the middle of the night, if there's a fatality in a car accident, selectmen should be notified. Chief of police should have a go-to person, I think.
Well,
That's the way I feel.
Well, that was still-
In a chain of command. Whether it be chairman by default and then down the line, or as a representative. I don't like the term liaison. I'll put that out there. It just, it turns me off. I mean, I think a representative.
Let's see if we can't tweak it next meeting, but that's what right now I'd like to all go through the town administrator when that person's put on board, and then we'll take it from there. It's only a couple of weeks, and if we come up with something better, I'm willing to listen to it, that's for sure. And if it doesn't involve me, I'm really willing to listen to it.
You'll be involved. All right.
Okay, next,
Well,
No, you gotta
I
make
made a
a
motion and.
Yeah. So we, all
Can I-
in favor?
All right.
Okay, unanimous. All right, rest of the stuff cleaned up under other. We have a donation,
No, he did.
Have to be a public.
public, yeah. We have a donation coming forward for the fire department. It does require a public hearing. Do I have a motion to open the public hearing?
So moves.
Second.
Okay, it is a $50 donation from Boston Latin School in memory of Lorraine Langton Brackett. Anybody have any comments? Motion to close public hearing.
Do we need to accept it?
We can close public hearing first.
I move to close the public hearing.
Second.
All those in favor? Motion to accept the donation.
I'll make a motion, we accept the donation from the Boston Latin School in the amount of $50 in memory of Lorraine Langton Brackett,
And a second.
I'll
to
second
the
it.
fire department.
All those in favor?
All right.
So we have it. Laura's not here yet, so we'll hold off on her. We have the minutes of the Monday, March 4th, 2019 meeting. Everybody had a chance to review that?
Mhm.
Any errors? Actually,
Actually,
it'd be
You and
you.
you can't.
You can, yeah. So it'd be me, Jim, and Chester.
even though I was here.
I move to approve the minutes of Monday, March 4th, 2019, as written.
Second?
She's on it now.
I just want to look at one thing before I second this.
Yep, that's why I figured you were doing something.
Okay, I have possibly a correction here. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to speak with the chief, but in the minutes and last meeting, under discussion on section 4 about letter to the Department of Transportation, the second paragraph, Chip asked Chief Loren how many accidents in the library parish house area in the last 5 years due to parking. Her response was 2 serious accidents and some small ones, but many misses. And I happened to be going through some of my material this weekend, and I have a letter that the chief sent to the planning board on October 4th of last year. And in that, I'm going to read what it says. As a knowledge base to offer an opinion, I was present for the original architectural unveiling explanation of the proposed library expansion in 2017 and have reviewed artist renditions, mock-ups of same. I have reviewed police records of crashes at, directly in front of, involving the entering or exiting of 36 Post Road, of which there are none in the past 5 years. So there seems to be a contradiction there.
I have a question. there may be a contradiction, but that doesn't change the minutes of
Right.
what Chief Laurent said during the last meeting.
Right, I understand that, but I just wanted
Okay,
to bring
well,
that out.
you mentioned a correction to the minutes. so.
I'd like to have that statement that
Oh,
Jim
I'm
just
sorry,
read,
Colleen, I'm not sure.
put into the minutes for the record, please, so we can follow up on that if there's another question.
So I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion. Next thing we have is quarterly update, and I have nothing right now. Okay?
No.
Nobody else has heard anything other than what's been on paper, so you can believe that. The Weeks Library trustees.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Marcia McLaughlin at 47 Nantucket Place here in town. We requested just to be here this evening. I had sent some materials to Charlotte, which you will have, I think, for your next meeting, which are more background and informational on the Cypre petition that is being worked on, as well as the necessity for a quiet title action in order to clear the title for the library property. And since two of the selectmen are really not anywhere up to steam on it, it's going to take a while for you all to understand. But those were some good background informational materials. I also have a couple of things I wanted and since Liz is here, maybe I could just give this to you, Liz. It was something that Denise had sent me in an email last week. It was a check report that you had issued, I believe. And she says in her email that it would be great to get it for the whole year, even though the report is due, I don't know, and every month in 2019, if you would be willing to do that for them.
Well, the whole year, I think I gave you, because you guys started in October with the account. You didn't have the bond money until
Okay,
late
well,
October.
I'm just quoting what she had said there.
Is that what you want?
I think that's for Denise, for Denise's record keeping for what she does for the library.
This would all be the library expense stuff, but that's what this is. She gets a quarterly check for the amount of money that is budgeted, and then this is all off the top of it.
Okay, you can talk about it. I'm kind of in the middle on that. Thank you. We are also letting you know that just for all of the clarification for the library trustees, we are going to make a request from the trustees of the trust fund for a complete listing of all of the payments that you have approved, that they have approved.
We don't approve payments because we're not agents on that.
Then what?
We make payments based on approvals of the agents of.
Okay, well then, we will request that, what payments you have made.
Yeah.
Because we've not always, the trustees have not, as we are co-agents on the Capital Reserve Fund, we have not always seen the bills that were submitted for payment out of the Capital Reserve Fund. There is a invoice currently waiting approval, and it may be in your manifest this evening. I don't know. We have all requested that it be paid from the bond monies, not from the Capital Reserve Fund.
How much is that?
I don't know if it's in the manifest tonight.
$8,000.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's $3,914.83.
That was paid out of the capital, out of the general fund. Yeah.
And I received a memo from Karen saying to transfer money from the bond money in the library account to the general fund to repay that.
And has that been done?
That's for
No,
tonight.
it is
Tonight.
not.
Okay.
Tonight's action.
Well, and then maybe since Liz is here, she could also answer the question. On the treasurer's report, in the annual report, it showed an expenditure from the bond already. and
I
then,
don't do that, you'd have to talk with the
Okay.
treasurer, and where he got his information, I have
Okay.
absolutely no idea.
I was not aware that there had been any payment made.
There has not been, according to the library expansion account, been a payment made from the
So,
bond.
I guess that
There,
was-
there was a payment made out of the, bond money. It was approved, by the board, and then the board brought it back to have it reviewed, but that check was still mailed.
The money has gone out, but there has been no, in the accounting line, there has been no money taken from the bond. It has come from the library expansion account for payment purposes, but not for accounting purposes. And I know that sounds complicated, and I don't mean it to, but where the money has come from has been
Because the
bouncing
select
around.
board
it.
reversed its decision on where that money was to come out of.
And that's, it came out of the capital reserve fund as a result of that.
And then our last request is that we would ask that you, the selectman, or whoever is communicating with Peter Laughlin, the urgency of the Cypre petition and the quiet title search in order to move things forward for the library. Thank you.
Okay. Any other old business?
Just FYI, they started to clear some trees down on Great Bay East. West. Water's Edge. Water's Edge.
Whatever it is this week.
West, right?
Yeah. This morning.
Okay, moving right along. New business, administrative, we have the MS 232 report of appropriation actually voted. I'll need a motion.
Move to approve the MS 232 report of appropriations actually voted.
Second?
So second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Abatements.
Have them sign it. Everybody has to sign it.
There are 3 requests. On both those movement. That's an objection. First one's on 59 Ridgecrest Drive.
56.
Pardon?
56.
Oh.
I have 56 on mine.
The next page says 59. so-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that needs, that's probably a typo.
Okay. Just so we're clear.
It was denied
Should
by,
be 56,
recommended to be
should be.
denied by the assessor. Do I have a motion?
I'll go with the assessor. I move to deny the abatement for 59 Ridgecrest Drive, map R245, as recommended by the assessor.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next one is 1 Hayfield Court.
I move to grant the abatement for 1 Hayfield Court, map R16 3D, in the amount of $404 as recommended by the assessor.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And I will move to grant the abatement for 46 Barrett Farm, map R16 3L, in the amount of $546 as recommended by the assessor.
Second? Do I have a second?
Oh, I thought you second.
So,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
it doesn't matter what order you're doing.
Moving right along, we got the solar exemptions.
I like this one.
Please. do it.
3 requests for that.
Learned tonight I need to shorten my signature.
Just sign here and then I'll do this tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay, and there's 3 of them. Oh, you have to vote to approve it. So,
These are solar.
yeah, those are solar.
Okay. I'll let them finish line. I want to vote on it.
Yeah.
You catch up with that batch of paperwork?
Yes, I think we're on to solar.
We'll start the next batch. Okay, what we have is 3 exemptions before us. It's a 100% valuation exemption for solar energy systems. The first one is 19 Palm Drive. A motion.
Motion to approve the solar exemption for 19 Palm Drive.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Entertain a motion for 2 Allen Farm Lane.
I'll make a motion to approve the solar exemption for 2 Allen Farm Lane.
Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And for 56 Niblick Lane.
I'll make a motion to approve the solar exemption credit for 56 Niblick Lane.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Was that, no, she's gonna fill it, just sign yours.
She's gonna fill it?
Just sign them.
Yeah, I'm gonna fill it
Charlotte
out.
will fill
Excellent.
them. Yep.
I got the longest name.
It'll take way too, yeah, I was gonna say it'll take way too long.
Good, thank you.
Cuts down on ink.
Yeah.
This, I think it's just Chuck. It signs that.
Good, good.
The bandstand or the gazebo.
Okay,
Service
So you
on
can
the
change.
bandstand grounds.
okay, so you should, so you can change it.
Just so you know.
Yep.
Okay, the next thing we got is application for tuition reimbursement. Now, if I'm reading this right, this is, we're tying up the money that's in that particular account for him? Okay. It's for Wayne Young, going for his bachelor's, so.
I move to approve the tuition reimbursement application from Wayne Young in the estimated amount of $600, contingent upon him passing the course.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have an application for employment. Brant Pace, applying for substitute at the transfer station attendant. Entertain a motion.
I move to approve hiring Brant Pace for the position of substitute transfer station attendant.
I'll second it.
Excellent.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good, good.
Aye.
Let me fly through. We have a request from the Greenland Congregational Church for its annual Easter egg hunt. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve the annual Easter egg hunt to be held on Saturday, April 13th, 2019 at 10 a.m. on the green. They will need to coordinate with the police, which is required because they meet at the school or parish house and cross Post Road to the green. This has been an ongoing thing.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So be it. Then we have the Easter Sunrise Service. The Congregational Church is requesting permission to have this at the gazebo.
Mr. Chairman, actually, I have a correction. If you look at the letter, they're requesting use of the bandstand grounds, and then the second option would be the use of the gazebo. So I'd like to change the motion to read as such, to approve the annual Easter sunrise service to be held at the bandstand, with a second option of at the gazebo, as written.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. In the other new business, I got a couple things I would like to entertain a motion to reaffirm the town administrator as supervisor for the following town employees: maintenance supervisor, road agent, bookkeeper, secretary of the boards, building inspector. Again, the person's will be around daytimes, we're not.
The town administrator would do.
Second.
Maintenance supervisor, road agent, bookkeeper, secretary of the boards, and building inspector.
Second.
Any more discussion?
No.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good.
Very good.
What time?
The other thing is, I was reading the personnel policy.
Or can I ask a question about the motion you just made? So when people like and this is just for my own understanding, when like the building inspector was hired, was he told that he reports to the town administrator, or does he have an employment contract that says he reports to the board, or?
It really doesn't report to anybody. Nobody does.
So he doesn't have a contract that says who he reports to right now?
He's an hourly.
Okay. And he was never, I'm just wondering,
It does.
if you need to inform him that he used to report to
Well,
the board and not report to
we
someone else.
had to vote on it first, because I could find nothing where anyone really was in charge if we're not here. And that's the idea. If he's got to run something by somebody, and then that person will obviously have the advantages of going, it's got to go to the board, I can't make that decision. In the personnel policy, if any department head has to discipline a subordinate, we have to get involved in every single action. And I don't want to be. We got department heads that, if someone's late to work, I don't want to deal with it. If someone's going to get suspended, that's when I think we should get involved with it. And that's where the policy fails. It says basically every action we have to be involved with, and I think it behooves us to look at that and think if we can come up with a better language for it. I think what happened is, there was one time, a few moons ago, where there was jokingly called super secret probation. Someone was suspended, the selectmen didn't know it, and they found out on the street, and it didn't go set well. So then they went to the other extreme where they got involved in everything. I just want to be informed with a confidential email that someone was disciplined, because they are our employees, and we should know what's going on.
That should be in a non-public session of 91A. That should not be over email. Just saying. If I'm getting disciplined, I don't want it out there in email, because email can be hacked.
Well, it could be that's something that could be, looked at in just a confidential memo too, sealed envelope.
A memo and a sealed envelope is fine.
Well, that's why we just,
Completely different
that's why
than
we're
email.
discussing that out front in the open here, so we can,
Just email is one of those 91A applicable.
well, you keep on sending me an invoice for some reason, I don't know what that's all about.
Well, maybe I figure you got money.
We had somebody get the name and address out of somebody's file, we don't know where exactly yet, but every once in a while, I got a note from Karen, she wanted to get paid.
It's everywhere.
Oh, she wanted money.
As long as your email is out on the net, it's hackable.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. That's so noted.
Yeah.
I think we're still on the new business.
Anybody got any other new business?
I do. I'd like it recognized that Charlotte went above and beyond coming in as her mother had passed last week, and she made herself available and really went out of her way to help us get some things taken care of. So I'd like our appreciation noted.
Thank you.
Well, there's a couple other things I think we should be taking a look at. Apparently there was a complaint about electioneering and using town's funds. I think anything that leaves town, as far as bulletins, mailers, should be approved by the Board of Selectmen if it's using town funds.
Absolutely.
But that's something we gotta work on.
I'd like to speak on that. I'd like to find out what exactly happened, how it exactly happened, and what we're gonna do to make sure it doesn't happen again. Period.
I think,
That's how it needs to work, in my opinion.
and the other thing is, today I had Jim look it up, and the sidewalks in front of Cumberland Farms are our responsibility to keep open, so I'll be talking with Paul about that, but that's probably not gonna happen until next year. I almost watched somebody get clipped out there this weekend, going around the island, so. And let's see.
As long as we're bringing up some points of interest here, I'd like to bring up the road leading out of a transfer station. I don't want to have a new tire purchased.
Yeah, that does look like he got bombed.
I agree. Big hole.
So I think we need to
Unbelievable.
get that taken
Too
care of.
busy plowing snow.
This is where I give my little speech, because we got a new board and everything. But I'm glad to see you.
No, she,
Oh, okay.
it's involuntary movement.
Tourette's.
Maybe.
No, we got some new people. It's good to see people show up to the Board of Selectmen's meeting and participate. What you see in front of you is a board that's committed to follow the law, even when they personally disagree with the project. And continuing to believe in the voters' votes count. That's important to us, and we're just not going to ignore the voters themselves. It's also a board that's dedicated to repairing our infrastructure. It's been kind of left to wear and tear and not shown any love. A board that's going to work with the PDA, not fight with them, even though the PDA don't believe that. And yes, we still got to work for clean water in town, even though nobody threw the cigarette butt in Coakley. And we will work as hard as we can not to fail.
Question.
Yep,
So I appreciate the new board members and stepping up to volunteer for the town, and I just also, and I appreciate that you want to move forward with what the voters vote for. I'm also just wondering if you believe that you are the stewards of the town money, and the voters obviously have to decide what projects move forward. They don't have the knowledge or the time to decide how they move forward and to make sure they're safe. So I'm assuming you guys believe that you are the stewards to do that, because you didn't mention that in your speech. So is that also your understanding that is the role of this board?
I do. I do.
I believe, yes. Working for the federal government, I was a steward for the federal government's money too. All you taxpayers, so I had to answer what I spent.
Okay. I appreciate that.
So it shall happen here too.
okay. Anybody got any other new business? Or any more potholes you want to bring to our attention that swallows cars? But that is, the dump road is terrible.
Kind of tough to do. paving.
Yeah, this time of year, this time of year, I can only thing I can think of, we might be able to dump some crushed stone into it as long as we don't get any more snow. We don't want any more snow. The rest of
Jonesy's
it-
crew was out doing cold patch this week.
They did?
Jonesy's crew was out doing it this week.
Oh, okay.
They did it last week too.
They don't have.
Pike
a-
last week,
will be,
whatever.
Pike will be open next month.
Yeah, so.
Good.
Couple weeks, Pike will be open.
Anything else under other business?
Not at this time.
Let's move on to manifests. Yeah, he's well, I'll be the fall guy for this one.
I did.
I move that we hereby approve the attached manifest unpaid bills detailed as of March 21st, 2019 in the amounts of $3,914.83 and $8,094.62. The funds come out of the bond proceeds.
Second.
I'll say,
Please so check on there.
What?
Please so check. There's a check box there. Please check
Oh,
where it's
yes.
gonna come from.
check the box.
You gotta sign that.
She normally is still over my shoulder, so I'm not used to hearing that voice come from her.
I don't stand over your shoulder. You made me angry, little frog.
Hereby approve the attached manifest of unpaid bills detailed as of March 21st, 2019 in the amount of $64,500
From the ambulance fund.
from the ambulance fund, sorry.
Second.
Right, Jim, ruin your day. You get the big one.
I move to approve the attached payroll
Well, that's not bad.
number 6. Pay date March 21st, 2019, period March 7th, 2019, through and including March 14th, 2019. Gross amount excluding payroll liabilities. I'm a little confused here.
This would be the one paying, this would be if there's any adjustments in it.
If there's any adjustments, say you didn't want to pay me. It'd be the last
Is that
time
an
you
option?
didn't want to.
Come on, you need to get paid, you know.
I said it would be the last time you.
You talking about that voice coming from the sky?
You could change the amount, and there's always been there on all of the manifests where you're allowed to change the amount.
Okay, but basically, we're not changing any amount, so it would be to the amount of $56,429.70.
If you wish on that payroll thing, I
you
can
want
take
that
that off because you've never changed it.
After you go down, so.
That's up to you as a board.
Yeah, I gotta sign a few things in that too.
So I guess we're looking for a second.
Second?
You want me to second? Second.
Somebody seconded it.
I'll second it.
Thank you.
Ah, it's a good thing you're here, Charlotte. It's Monday.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I'm slacking here. Oh, boy. We hereby approve the attachment, this is the general funds, manifest number 6. We hereby approve the attached manifest of unpaid bills detailed as of March 21st, 2019, in the amount of $454,959.67. This manifest includes a Greenland School District payment of $180,000.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
I know I get it right by the end. Sign that one already. Great.
She doesn't have to.
Anything else?
Charlotte's holding something up over there.
Are you gonna appoint her?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we waited till she
Yeah,
didn't
she
show up.
doesn't, she doesn't have to be here.
Yeah, we're gonna go back to the Conservation Commission appointment for Laura Gallego. Entertain a motion.
I move to reappoint Laura Gallego to the Conservation Commission. Her appointment would expire in March 2022.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Very good.
I got my track shoes on. You there?
Now, Charlotte, you have the,
I do. I don't know, did I not put it in there?
yeah,
What's that?
You're just gonna do close.
closed door paperwork.
Yep.
She'll look at, I'll finish signing this.
Building committee, no.
Can we use these?
Use your budget. You watch it, put them there, put them in there. I do reuse them, not very often, because they unsticky.
They only stick when you don't want them.
I have to go home and find my first
Does anybody in the audience have something they want to bring before us? How's that?
Yes,
Yes, my dear.
back probably 3 meetings ago or so, I asked Karen to bring before the board whether things like legal review from Peter Laughlin on the library, whether any of the engineering or technical things that we have on the library that are being the town planning, building inspector, whatever, looking at things relative to the library, whether they should come out of the library expansion fund or whether they should stay in the general fund. And the result of that was a resounding no decision.
A decisive no decision.
And this sounds strange, I don't necessarily care where it's coming from, that's not my decision, it's your decision. But I need a decision, because I have to, in the accounting that the auditors look at and everybody else looks at, I have to have a way to show where it's going, how it's going. Traditionally, it can be put in the library fund, or it can stay in the general fund. And I think as I brought up one other time, if it stays in the general fund, you cannot use that as a reason why you've gone over your budget. It just has to come out of whatever you have. I don't know, I've set it up, it's been coming out of consultants. I'm not necessarily sure that that's what was in mind when you budgeted that. Again, I'm not in the budget process. But I would like some sort of a guidance because I feel like it's 1 minute CRF, next minute it's bond, now it's general fund, now it's bond, no, it's back to CRF, now it's bond. And believe it or not, even I can get confused after a while. And I just am trying to, we've got a whole lot more possibility in the future of having a lot more bills. And I don't want to have to keep guessing. Because I have to decide before you guys get to it. There has to be something, whether it's coming out of the library or the general fund, before you guys even get a chance to approve it.
Well, Marquesi's wouldn't have a bill, he'd have a salary, and that would come out of the general fund.
No, I'm not talking about that.
The
You have-
consultants that the town brought in actually should have come out of the planning board's consulting.
It came out of the town's consulting, not the planning board's consulting. And your legal review, it came out of the general legal review. As I said, it's not something I'm terribly upset about. It's just I don't know. So I'm having to keep copies as to be able to clearly show where that money came from relative to that project, because it is a capital project. It's not just a building. It's a capital project, and as such, it has to be accounted for differently. Otherwise, we wouldn't have a special account. And it has to be, as a result, I have to be able, when the auditor comes in, they'll say, okay, here's this bank account. It's got $2 million sitting in there. This much has come out of it. This much has gone in. And oh, by the way, this much also is attributable, if you will, to that project. Because it is attributable. If you get a consultant in there to look at something on that project, it's attributable to that project. And I don't care where it comes from. I really don't.
Sure. I recall at the meeting with the planning board said that they were going to pay for the consultant, I believe.
I will speak to that. Again, Marcia McLaughlin. I did go back, Liz, after you made that request, and I looked carefully at all the planning board minutes. And what they said in that meeting was that traditionally the applicant pays the fee. However, they would be willing to cover the fee to expedite, whatever that meant.
Now you know why I'm where I'm at.
Exactly.
That doesn't tell.
I think actually it's gonna have to fall back, the planning board's gonna have to decide if they're gonna have that come out of their budget.
Okay, as I said, right now it's coming out of,
Because
you have a line of accounting for the planning board consultants.
yeah, because
And you also have a line of accounting for town consultants. Right now, it's all coming out of town consultants. That was Karen's idea, is to have it put there.
So you need to get it clarified.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll have to make their decision if they're gonna have it come out of their budget. And, because the select board had nothing to do with choosing those people that didn't authorize that.
Okay.
So that is something that the planning board authorized, so it really should come out of theirs, even if they don't think so.
Well, they did think so when they said it.
Yeah, Charlotte?
Okay, the planning board, that was to come out of the planning board's budget because the planning board had their engineer review those plans. And I thought that that was the right number that I put down on the sheet, was for the planning board line. But maybe it wasn't the correct number, unless it was changed.
You didn't have a thing to do with the invoices I'm talking about.
So we're not talking about the one from Altus?
No. That one came clearly out of that. I'm talking about, 7C Consulting.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was,
the safety
okay,
consultant, that was at the planning board
And
meeting.
you have either 2 or 3 that you pay Peter Laughlin for. If the planning board said they're gonna pay for it, that's fine, it's now paid. I just have to be able to track it And if I know that that's where it is, then I can put the money there and all is good. I make copies, I let the auditors know where it is.
I can't tell you to put it on the planning board, because they have to accept that.
No, I
No,
understand.
they didn't authorize the 7C, that consulting company. That was never discussed at a planning board meeting.
Well,
That consultant was
discussed it
never
before either.
discussed.
Well,
What?
it's- that's why it's
authorized
in the
that?
town.
Jim
Never discussed.
Marchese hired that one.
On his own.
That I can't tell
Yeah,
you.
never mind.
We don't
Take
know.
that-
If-
Take that back.
It's, Karen is the one that had me put it under the town consulting line. And because I asked her, where does it come from?
We need to ask the planning board if they're up or not. Then we'll have to
We'll
come
table it for,
Okay,
until we get a answer from the planning board, I think would be the.
that's the first question. Also, the next question on the library. Right now, I have several invoices that have been charged to the capital reserve fund. I have a check sitting in the safe from the trustees of the trust fund that was supposed to fund part of that money from the capital reserve fund. I would like somewhere along the line, if you guys, since you didn't have approval of the trustees, what you want me to do relative to that. It doesn't have to be tonight, but just if you would put it on your thinking boards.
Why don't you get a list of that to the trustees, what it was for?
Oh, I know.
Well, they need to know what it was for, and that way we have if it was before the bond was issued.
Before the bond, I have no problem, that's.
Yeah, sure, that's nothing before the bond, this is stuff that's after the bond,
Yes,
that the board of selectmen spent money that they weren't authorized to do.
yes. And that we asked the trustees of the trust fund to get reimbursed us. And they did, all but the one check that's still in the safe.
I can speak to that one again. There has not been a bill that we have presented to the select board since the bond was issued at the end of September that we requested it be paid out of the capital reserve fund. We requested that they all be paid from the bond monies.
So that'd be money that, according to the trustees, should have come out of the bond money.
Not the trustees. Trustees don't decide. It was decided by the signature on manifest, I guess, and the request from the trustees on the form that they have to reimburse from them.
In other words, the trustees did not approve the money to come out of their fund.
Yes, they did. They signed it. They gave us a check. They followed the direction on the form requesting the money. They gave us the money. And the library, based on the authorizations in the original warrant article, has to approve it. Not necessarily, by the way, before. It says both parties have to approve it. It doesn't say the order, the approval has to be
So where did the money come out of?
the bank account.
Which one?
The library expansion bank account. See, there's problems here. We have bank accounts and we have lines of accounting and we have capital reserve fund.
Okay, and what line of accounting did that come out of?
The capital reserve fund line of accounting.
And we didn't have authorization to do that.
And
by
we
the
got
trustees.
money from the trustees to put in that line of accounting.
But we did not get authorized by the trustees to do the
The
spending.
library trustees.
Library trustees
Yes, to do that.
to do that.
You did not.
And what's the amount of that? Do we roughly know?
No. There's either, I know that the check in the safe is 12 grand plus. The
Good.
others are fairly high.
Because I will tell you, the selectmen be dancing on the tables if the trustees spent money out of an account, put it on something the selectmen had authorized and didn't.
Well, I'm just saying,
So we
the
need-
process is what the process was. The board, a valid board, voted whether it was proper or improper. The actions that were taken were based on that vote.
Well, I'll go on the record right now and say it was improper. We shouldn't have done that.
It may have been improper, but at the time that
So we need to.
the actions of the parties after the vote were proper. I don't mean to sound mean, but I did what I was told.
Yeah, I'm not saying
And,
anything about
and we
that.
got the money based on what we told
So we
the
should-
trustees of the trust fund.
We-
Now we need, if you're gonna start paying out of the bond, you might as well fix it all.
I wanna fix it all.
Okay. Now,
need-
I am turning off my bookkeeper stuff for a second. As a member of the public, my first question to the trustees is, what are you saving that $670,000 for?
And my response to you would be that it is the one over which we have discretionary power because it is a joint. No, let me finish. If there should be any funds left at the end of this project, if it is only bond money, the selectmen can choose to spend it however they
Oh,
want.
no, they can't, not
No.
bond money.
That's what that's what we were told by
No.
Optima, excuse me, Liz, that's what I was told by Optima Bank when I went and met with them.
A warrant article that is for a particular library expansion can be spent on nothing but that library expansion, period. Period. That's what warrant articles do. They further define it. And I will quote it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at the process. It's been going on now for months. And
Well,
you got boards,
Speaking up.
you got boards, you got boards, you got boards. There's one bookkeeper, part-time bookkeeper, that spends an awful lot of time trying to figure out what the boards want. I would request in your new spirit of cooperation that you cooperate with the boards, please. Good night,
Did you
gentlemen.
find out that dollar amounts we got?
I will have it on your desk as soon as I can.
I don't have a desk. All right, moving on. We have a closed door, unless somebody else wants to bring something up.
Can you just adjourn, please?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.